I'm not going to go now into the aspect of parents who, if a parent forbids you to go to church, then you go to church. Remember, you're still supposed to honor your parents, but there's the but that who is God. Okay, so there's the same aspect of honoring the government that God put over us, and listening. So in everything, do you just listen to the government, or is there a place where the government oversteps its boundaries? Now, sure, if you are, I mean, yeah, I sometimes get this Western idea where they're like, while you're still living in your parents' house, you need to listen to them and everything. And the moment you leave the house, you kind of don't need to listen to them anymore. No, I don't think there's a lot of honoring in that sense. I mean, for these people, this would not have been even a possibility. Leaving the father's house, you kind of don't leave the father's house ever, right? And so yes, it is it is not, it would not have been their culture. Okay, so what is for us maybe a way, and more often than not, you get to this idea that people was just trying to use it. So now you're not living with your parents anymore. So at 20, you kind of, or 18 or whatever, depending on Europeans, they stay longer with their parents. But you get out of, or you leave your parents' house, you go study, you build your own life, kind of, and now you don't need to honor them anymore, right? It's as if they stop having any kind of consequence to you. No, that's nonsense. They will always be your parents till the day you die. They won't, and you always need to honor them, because it flows from this culture as well. And this is a culture in which they would have stayed with their parents, and where the third and the fourth generation, the grandfather would still be. So you honor the parents who honor the parents who honor the parents. So the parents honoring the grandfather who honors his father, right? So you honor, and I mean, understand, you're honoring the one way on top, and that we've already spoken about that, the 3 and 4 generations and the 1,000 generations concept. So no, it is, yeah, for our, or for a individualistic kind of a culture, it's a big misunderstanding ultimately then of what it means honoring your parents. And your parents stay your parents, their parents stay their parents, so they stay your parents, even if your grandparents, till they die. Okay, and you always need to honor them. Now, again, as I already mentioned, if they're going to say something that goes against the word of God, and then you need to show an example, and tell them that I love you and honor you, but there's this one thing in which I can't do it ultimately anymore. Right. Now, so again, this starting with the idea of honoring your parents. Like if you honor your parents, then the rest of the things will kind of sort of follow in place. We know children honoring their parents, growing up in a, we call a normal house, mother, father, and children kind of idea, grandparents, uncles, aunts. In general, they tend to be more honest. They tend to be, again, it depends on cultures, right? But in general, they tend to be more well adapted, I would say, to life. Less inclined towards going out and killing people. That doesn't mean that people from those kinds of houses can't do it, but they tend to be less inclined. We know from studies that growing up in a single parent home, the chance of doing this is a lot higher. We even see it, like I say, in the animal world, like an example of the elephants. Elephants growing up without the young elephants, bull elephants especially, taken out of their family's social structure and then put into another wildlife reserve, they often tend to be unruly, and more often than not needs to be put down, because they need um, that kind of discipline that comes with it. So it's true for us as well. So it makes sense to start with ultimately that.